In Georgia, lawmakers hoping to give partners, or rather parents, more options when it comes to educating their kids. Senate Bill 233, or the Georgia Promise Scholarship Act, is on its way to be reviewed by State House representatives. News 9's Gabriella Johnson joins us live from our newsroom tonight. Gabriella, so the bill would create a voucher program giving parents the choice on what form of learning their child should participate in. So what's the reaction from those on both sides of this issue?
Barbara, that's right. Families who have children who go to a school that is considered an underperforming one could be eligible for a grant that would provide the necessary funding for a parent to possibly send their child to a private school, homeschooling, or even virtual learning.
This gives parents, rich or poor, an opportunity to take access into other education.
If passed into legislation, Senate Bill 233, or the Georgia Promise Scholarship Act, will grant families who are zoned for an underperforming school $6,000 to use for their choice of education for their child.
I would use it because it would be beneficial towards my child and her education.
Mother of a 3-year-old, Alexandria Smith, says she would use it to send her daughter to private school.
I would prefer her to be private because I know for a fact it'd be closed in and she'll, her education it'd be a purpose behind it. But public, I have no problem with public. I just know that private would be so much better.
Some are concerned that this grant may take away state funding from public education. Georgia Senator and a sponsor of the bill, Colton Moore, explains that would not be the case.
To teach a student, it costs about $11,000, and the state offers about $7,000 of that $11,000. But if we're only going to give the student a voucher of $6,000, there's still all those local tax dollars that remain in the school system.
Muskogee County School Board member Pat Hughley Green says public schools should be the main priority for government funding, since more than 90% of school-age children attend public school in this county.
Public education is the great equalizer, and it should be fully funded, appropriately funded, and it should be a priority. If you are diverting any funds from public education, you are not making public education a priority.
This piece of legislation brings up a lot of concern related to standardized testing and accountability for private schools.
That same accountability for testing, that same accountability for having quality-based education, that needs to be also a requirement for private schools.
Moore shares that those factors are being considered.
So if a private school is going to take this voucher, they too are going to have to take the same standardized tests that regular public schools will. In addition, the homeschool kids will also have to take a similar standardized test. So that way the money is still going to be accounted for.
The Georgia Promise Scholarship Act is heading to the House, where representatives will make changes to it, and then back to the Senate for consideration. If it passes, then Governor Kemp will have the option of signing it into law. Gabriella Johnson, WTVM News Leader 9.
All right, we'll continue to watch it and see how all of this shakes out. All right.